With the relaxing of health restrictions, summer in Europe is as vibrant as ever. Travel is indeed back with a vengeance. After bringing an aircraft to Le Bourget for maintenance, I took this opportunity to make up for lost travel time as well. In this two-part episode, I revisit the Netherlands, catching up with old friends while making new discoveries in its incredibly beautiful countryside where the landscapes resemble the paintings of Dutch masters. The familiar streets of Paris are a welcome sight after years of lockdown. Locals and visitors spilled into the streets, enjoying every bit of Parisian sunshine. With business done, it was time for me to head out of the busy city and onto my next adventure. Together with my traveling companion, the Audi e-tron, I plan to drive from Paris, passing through Ghent, Belgium, for a quick stop before arriving in Utrecht, the Netherlands. With a range of 350 kilometers on a full battery charge, I would need to make one recharging stop before arriving at my destination. Stopping in Ghent also gives me a chance to see my fellow balloonist Peter van Overwal. First thing you'll notice when you drive the e-tron are the side view mirrors, or the lack of them. In their place are exterior cameras with LED displays showing the rear sides of the car. What's great is that it has a wide field of view and is adjustable, so it can show you exactly what you need to see. It also signals when it's safe to turn, ensuring a safe driving experience. The virtual side mirror can take some getting used to, but it supposedly reduces drag and interior noise, plus makes the car sleeker. Soon, I made it across the border to Belgium. I was met by Peter at the local church where conveniently there was a charging station. 9 years ago, I visited Peter at his place, which was still under renovation. Now, it's great to see his house finished. Peter, here I am after 9 years.
That's been a while.
And because of COVID, I was finally able to finish.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for a heavy book.
It's punishment for you to read.
No, I'm going to enjoy it. Believe me, I have time. So, no, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Great. And we're so impressed. Finally, the house is finished.
Yeah.
The last time you were here, I think this room was not yet ready.
No, it was nothing was there. We're still working in all the rooms. It was a disaster.
And I can see your garden's very beautiful, huh?
Now you've seen a little bit of the inside. You want to go outside and have a look at
Yes,
the garden?
I can see it. I was happy to catch up with Catherine too, after so many years. Like me, Peter had been busy during the lockdown. Finding an old map, he discovered that their house actually used to be a royal residence in the Middle Ages and has been tracing its history since. I was given a quick tour of the house and saw how much work had been done. They were able to keep some of the original stone floors from ancient times. We went up its old tower, just as we did before. It now housed Catherine's studio filled with her beautiful paintings. It was a quick visit as I still had a few hours of driving to get to my next destination. With the charging finished, I thanked Peter for the hospitality and was soon back on the road. From the views of the countryside to wide stretches of water, fed by the River Rhine, I knew my destination was not too far away. Utrecht, a historic area which started out as a Roman fortress along the river, is now a vibrant university city. With its picturesque canals, it is often compared to Amsterdam, but more compact and with a more relaxed vibe. I met up with Fred, my ballooning buddy, and his wife Carla, who are both from here. Hey Fred, I made
Hey
it.
Joy, good to see you again. Welcome in the Netherlands.
Hi, welcome.
Wow, I'm very happy I see you. Welcome in Utrecht also, the beautiful city.
I enjoy being here.
Very happy we can meet here.
Yes. So are you ready to get tired?
Yeah, when I see you, I know I'm getting tired because we go to see a lot of things.
So
Yeah,
we're
it was a
okay.
good drive.
Well, it's a nice electric car.
Okay,
So
sounds
very quiet,
good. Okay,
very comfortable.
okay.
It's a nice Audi e-tron.
I know the cars, I saw them, very good ones. Yeah.
So where do we go?
Well, I think we go around to Utrecht now.
Okay.
Then later on, I go to some more nice places. I think we must go see Giethoorn. Yeah.
Okay.
Giethoorn is a nice place. They call it the Venice of the North. They
Right.
have some boating. I think we go to Gouda. There's a cheese market.
I like cheese.
That's good. Yeah, we have to go there. I have more places on my list. I show you them later. I think we go around and we'll find them.
We look at the gay parade. I think
Yes,
that's what
the
I
gay
like to see.
parade is everywhere in cities all over the world. We will see them.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Utrecht is commemorating 900 years since it became a city under King Henry V. Aside from this, the city is also gearing up for the Canal Pride, which was postponed for 2 years during the pandemic. The streets were lively with performances and people marching towards the canals. Fred, Carla, and I joined them to witness the colorful celebrations. A couple of drag queens stood out from the crowd, and I thought I'd ask them about what they represented.
Yeah, it's a parade about female empowerment.
Okay.
Yes, and that's of course really important. But that women feel really powerful and just strong and be proud of
man.
yes, and be proud of who they are.
Great.
And that's what we represent. Transforming from men to the strong women to support this theme.
Congratulations for your hard work.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The sun shone brighter as the colorful boats passed through the waterways. The first Canal Pride in Utrecht was held in 2017, patterned after the one in Amsterdam. Pride parades are held annually in most cities around the world, celebrating social acceptance and advocating for the rights of the LGBTQ community. For a place like Utrecht, this openness to other people, cultures, and ideas come naturally to its citizens. This is the reason why its canals are truly bursting with pride. Up next, I explore more of Utrecht, both the city and its surrounding countryside, finding the most scenic landscapes and places steeped in history. My ballooning friends, Fred and Carla, have been showing me around Utrecht's lovely medieval center. Utrecht is warm and welcoming, And I learned that this Dutch trait of open-mindedness extends back in history. During one of Europe's dark periods, the witch trials. Fred and Carla take me to nearby Oudewater, a quaint town with a bewitching history.
In the older times, they believe when something was happening what was not good, that it was
Fault of
the
the
cause.
witch.
It was caused by a witch.
Very interesting how they think about all these things in the past, huh? When you can't explain, We went inside the Hex and Wag Museum to learn more about this widespread phenomenon of witch hunting during the early modern period. Back then, illness, famine, or disasters were blamed on witches, who were allies of the devil. Anyone could be accused of being a witch. The museum shows the bizarre ways they identified one. For instance, do they have any kind of marks on their face or body? Do you often hear them talking to themselves? Are they friendly towards animals? Do they have a pointed nose and a crone-like appearance? Or perhaps can fly into the air with a broomstick? They even said that if you opened your pillow and found the feathers forming a circle, there is surely a witch around you. It's no wonder that close to 80,000 people, men, women, and children, were executed for witchcraft all over Europe. But among its neighbors, the Netherlands had the fewest executions and one of the earliest to end the witch trials. This is where the small town of Oudewater played a big role. Housed in the same building is the town's weighing scale.
They say that a witch, the measurement is 0 kilo because it's a witch, and a human have weight. So they measure them.
Believing that witches weighed nothing so they can fly into the air, all you had to do was come to Oudewater and be given a chance to prove your innocence. The town prided itself with its accurate weighing scale, which cannot be rigged. A certificate was issued afterwards to the accused. And indeed, not one person who had themselves weighed in Oudewater was found guilty. Will Carla pass the test? I'm sure I would. So I have some weight, so I guess I'm not a witch.
You don't admit that you are a witch?
I don't want to. Now that I have proven my innocence, it was time to enjoy walking around this charming little town. The next day, we went for a drive further out into the countryside. If there's one adversary the Netherlands had been contending with for centuries, it would not be witches. It's water. With most of the country lying below sea level, managing water is essential to prevent massive flooding. Despite this constant struggle, water also provided the Dutch with fertile lands and a means of trade and transport. Hence, they perfected a water management system that is now recognized by the UNESCO here in Kinderdijk, an impressive World Heritage Site. 19 colossal windmills dot the landscape, draining the water in this area for hundreds of years. So Carla, What year was this built?
I believe this one was built in 1738.
Oh.
Yes, I think you can see it also on the windmill.
So Fred, you were saying that here in the Kinderdijk, all these windmills are still inhabited with people.
Yes, that's right. And these are still the original windmills, but still people live there. So, well, they are protected, so you cannot rebuild it or change it. Yeah, so you must be protecting the same shape as it is now.
But is it still functioning?
Yeah, still functioning too.
The town of Kinderdijk is surrounded by two rivers. In the 13th century, a system of canals, sluices, and dikes were built by the people to keep the water level at bay. But the water kept coming. On a stormy night in 1421, the infamous St. Elizabeth's flood claimed thousands of lives. It is said that a child was found floating on a cradle with a cat keeping it upright. This is where the name Kinderdijk, which means children's dike, came from. In true Dutch fashion, they engineered a solution: build machines that utilized wind power in the flatlands. So it pumps out and pumps in water?
Yeah, it pumps in out water. What you actually see here is that this area is very low, and normally you see we have windmills everywhere, but here are many, and they're all in a row. That's the most important thing.
Why in a row?
Because they had to pump out that amount of water.
All at the same time?
Yeah, maybe about 10 meters below sea level. And one windmill cannot do that. So they build them in a cascade. So one mill is pumping, let's say, 1.5 meters, and then the other one is pumping 1 meter. Then the water goes up, and then the other one is 1 meter. So they must function all in a row to pump all of the water.
Over the years, the windmills saw technology develop as they were later assisted by steam-powered pumping stations, then by diesel engines, and finally by electricity. Today, the windmills are still kept in good working condition, being able to rely on the wind in case of a power outage. Walking around Kinderdijk is not only a pleasant, picture-perfect experience, but also takes one back in time to marvel at these monuments to Dutch ingenuity and how they were able to master and befriend the water that surrounds them. Up next, I continue to enjoy my time in the Dutch countryside, getting to know one of its most majestic and graceful residents, the Frisian horse. Driving through the landscape of the Netherlands makes one feel like you've stepped into the paintings of the Dutch masters. Narrow roads that seem to be made only for bikes cross through the canals. The Audi e-tron barely made a sound as we passed through the small roads. With its weight, I felt like an elephant quietly making its way through the path. But with its electric performance, it is quick and easy to handle. We reached the town of Main-Schiereiland to experience a different kind of horsepower. Frysk Andaluz is a stable owned by Teresa and Richard, who are very passionate about horses. I thought it was the best place to learn more about the Netherlands' oldest breed, the Frisian horse. We were welcomed by a beautiful sight: mares and foals running freely in the paddock. As we prepared to talk about them, everyone got excited to say hello and be a part of the interview.
This is typical the Frisian breed. As you can see, the Frisian foals, they want to be around people. They are very gentle, curious.
So what made you start having interest with the Frisian breed?
When you are a child, you have a kind of dream in your mind, and for me it was a black horse with long hair, kind of fairy tale.
Yes.
So yeah, that was the...
And that started everything.
That started everything, yeah.
The way it looks is outstanding, and really, they're made for the movies.
Yes, they are. Yeah, like Zorro, yeah.
It was also my dream to be able to see these beautiful black horses up close. The Frisian breed originated in Friesland, in the northern part of the Netherlands, and is one of the oldest breeds in Europe. In the Middle Ages, their strength allowed them to carry armored knights into battle. Frisians are generally large and muscular, but also graceful and nimble when they move. With its long black mane and tail and feathered legs catching the wind, it was really a majestic fairy tale horse. Look at all these nice eyes. Very expressive eyes. Nice long hair. It's like a perfect horse. Okay. Oh, look how expressive their eyes are. What are you telling me? Come on. I also admired how Teresa and Richard were able to put up and manage the stables, which is clientele from all over the world.
I was a student here, and I started working here, and then I met my husband now, Richard.
Yes.
And he was also crazy about the Frisian horses, and his father bought this farm. Yes. So that was the start of the Frisian horse. Yes.
And now, how many horses do you have?
Between 60 and 70.
Oh my God!
Yes,
it's a serious job for everyone. And how many people take care of the horses?
Around 5 normally. But we always have some students who volunteers, yes, and they have to work as well. So most of the time we're here with 6 till 8 people working. It's a lot of work, but it's our passion. We love it.
Teresa explains that they don't just sell horses, but they do a sort of matchmaking service between horses and potential owners. There should be attraction from both sides. Nowadays, Frisian breeds are becoming very popular for dressage. Together with his tall, dark, and handsome stallion, Messi, Teresa shows me how she trains them.
When I sit on my horse, it's very important that we walk him just a few minutes, minimum 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just walk him a little bit that his muscles will be warm before we do the exercises we want. We just started with the Piaf, but he's already, it's a Grand Prix exercise.
Wow.
It's a dancing horse, good boy.
Yes. Teresa is an accomplished rider and trainer, getting Messi to do a lot of tricks.
And that's when you train a horse, they learn from, if you do it again and again and again, then a horse will learn.
Yes,
so
repetition.
If you say, okay, this is what I want, and then the next time you do the same, they will get it. But if you are not consequent enough, they don't understand it.
And it's their nature to like to please the owners, right?
Oh, yes.
These Frisians.
Yes.
She figured I should try it for myself. I have not ridden for a long time, nor was I trained for dressage. But I would not pass up the chance to ride a magnificent horse like this. Well, it's a great looking horse. I feel like I'm Zorro or something. Teresa tries to do some trick training with him. Wow! He's marching for me. Great. Now let's see if I can do it myself. Put our feet up. Come on. Yay! I know how to train a Frisian horse now. Let's go. It took some getting used to for both Messi and I. Dressage is really about communicating with your horse and giving him the right signals.
I'm surprised the temperament is very good for a stallion, huh?
What an incredible experience! Spending time with the Frisian horses and learning more about this ancient breed. For a species that almost became extinct, it was great to see them thriving and increasing in number, thanks to stables like Frysk Andaluz. In the next part of this adventure, the Dutch countryside continues to yield more exciting discoveries as I continue to explore the beauty and unique culture from this side of the Netherlands.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari.